feel like the rhythm of the offensive line overall is progressing this season as you've had to deal with injuries?
I think we have a lot of guys that can play and a lot of guys that can contribute, but like as far as the game, we have to start a little bit faster. It takes us too long to get started.
Andrew Kirby said pass protection is something y'all want to focus on and get better at. How did you feel about your personal pass protection coming back, and just what do y'all need to do better as a unit?
I mean, I think I did okay. I could definitely be better, and just as a unit, we just have to work on a lot of technical things to get better.
What do you attribute those slow starts to? These are Dean and this last game.
It's just execution, just making sure that we're on the right mic points, we're going to the right backers, stuff like that.
When Justin Fields comes in, what kind of energy does he bring to the offense?
I'm gonna say it's a different energy from Jake, but I mean, obviously he can run the ball, and that's the aspect that he brings when he comes on the field.
Andrew, Coach Pittman seems to have a pretty positive vibe. What's he like on a day when Georgia gives up 3 sacks? Is he the same guy, or is he gonna get on you guys?
Coach Pitt, he's going to get on us regardless. I mean, even if we're doing really well, it's always something that he finds that he wants us to improve on. So it's going to be like that regardless of how we play.
What's the key to winning these one-on-one matchups in regards to pass protection? Kirby again mentioned that a while ago. Just before that, what is the key to doing that?
Well, for pass protection, I think it's mostly technical things, like just the technique, understanding your hands and stuff like that.
Did you guys review film already from Saturday together? Or?
We haven't. We'll do that today.
Andrew, how do you keep the communication along the offensive line strong with some guys rotating in and out and have a few injuries? Is the communication still good with these substitutes, and how do you keep it that way?
Well, it starts with Lamont calling the plays, and then I try to echo whatever he calls and stuff like that. But I think the communication is pretty good.
How is this year different than last year? I mean, you guys are sitting here 5-0, ranked number 2. I mean, how would you compare the mindset of this year's team versus maybe last year's team at this stage?
I think right now we're still trying to find our identity on the offensive side of the ball, and that's the only difference.
You've had some coaches already that have said when the first thing they asked about Georgia, they say we got swallowed up. Their offensive line swallowed us up. Is that a pretty nice compliment to hear when you hear each week that you are swallowing somebody up? Is that as good a compliment as you can get?
Yeah, that's our goal. To be very physical, to play with great technique, and out hit our opponent.
What were your words of encouragement for Jamari when he did not get in, but Cade did get to fill in?
I just tell him to keep working. Jamari, he understands that he has to improve and get better, and work on his technique to get better. But he's staying engaged and supporting his teammates.
Kirby's philosophy is a lot about just winning both lines of scrimmages. Is that the vision you were sold when you were getting recruited, and has it come to fruition the way you thought, or has it come that the success came faster than you originally thought?
Yeah, that's what he told us when he was recruiting us. Coach Pitt always talked about being physical and practice every day. That's what we do. So I think that's what we're good at.
How about the midterm progress report on the team overall? Where do you think it is right now?
I think we're doing pretty good on the offensive side of the ball. Like I said, we just can start faster. That's what we need to improve on.
How do you do that? I mean, it's not like you guys aren't trying in the other games. It's not like you're not focused.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you become a better starting team?
Like I said, just keying in on the execution. In the first quarter, a lot of times we have people might miss an assignment or something like that. But once the game goes on and we get into a flow, that's when we get our rhythm.
Every week it seems like there's kind of a mantra. Is that this week's pretty much is the start faster deal?
Yep.
When you talk about finding an offensive identity, what should that offensive identity be in your mind?
A balanced offense that's very physical and can run the ball on will.
The rotating the tailback's been something that's been going on here a few years. How do you see it manifest itself? Like you're blocking third quarter, fourth quarter. Can you tell linebackers start to wear down, whereas your tailbacks are bursting?
I think it's just an advantage for us. I mean, we have so many different guys that have different talents. If I was the defensive coordinator, it would be hard to scheme against all of our different guys that we have. And, nobody's taking the whole load, so they're fresh in the fourth quarter and they just continue to run the ball well.
Do you see that? Like, do D-linemen, you hear defensive players complain about?
No, not really complain, but I mean, you can see, by the yards per game.
When you talk about a defensive coordinator scheming, when Fields comes in there, has the type of ability to run against their 11, change the numbers game, and what does he bring to your offense?
It just allows us to, run a couple of different plays. And the defense, they always have to key on him, so they can't just key on the running back.
I think for a lot of people, like if it was a video game, it's like sure, put the quarterbacks in, rotate them, this guy can do this. But how do y'all make sure that doesn't affect the rhythm of the offense? If it's happening